y'all. Good afternoon, and welcome to another story time brought to you by ABC Read and ABC Learn, in which we are here to help develop and nurture that love of reading in every child as well as every adult. How are you guys doing out there today, evening, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are around the globe? I hope that you all are doing fantabulous, which is fantastic and fabulous, smooth together. And I hope that you all have read or you're planning to read for at least 30 minutes, y'all. That's right, y'all. We are here at the African American Cultural Gardens, and guess what? We went on a nature walk and talk. We played I Spy games. We were actually reading the signs around, the street signs. And this is my reading tip for you guys before I start the story. These are some of the awesome things that you can do to beat the summer slide, all right? So you can build those literacy skills in your children so they can have awesome reading levels, all right? So you're making them aware of the print in their environment. And you're also practicing those word games and, and building up their critical thinking skills as well as problem solving skills when you're playing those I Spy games as well, all right? So let's get it started, y'all. Bam, bam, bam. Here is our book for today. And the author, his name is Shaquille O'Neal. The title, Little Shaq Takes a Chance. Illustrated by Theodore Taylor III. You guys see the cover, right? You see what these brothers are doing, right? They're what? They're playing basketball? They're playing basketball. They love that basketball. All right, y'all. Say, don't quit my day job. Don't stop reading. Say, the leader singing along. Don't be talking about my singing, y'all. All right. So what I'm going to do, this is a chapter book. And I'm just going to read chapter 2 to you guys. And basically the setup of this book, they are preparing for an art show that they're going to be displayed at their rec center. And basically with taking a chance, that's what I wanted to ask you guys real quick about what does it mean to take a chance? That means to do what? To try something out, right? You're taking a risk. Something that you haven't tried before, you're taking a chance at it, right? You're saying, does it work? Will you like it? And so those things are great to do, all right? You should take great risks. I mean, you don't just take a chance at any old thing, but you check out some things. If it's something that you're interested in, take a chance at it and see if you like it, all right? All right, y'all, let's get started. Chapter 2, In the Paint. At school the next day after recess, Little Shaq's teacher, Miss Turpinny, set up 2 tables of art supplies. There were watercolor paints, crayons, colored pencils, and markers. She had also laid out paintbrushes, construction paper, and big slabs of clay. Little Shaq took one look at the art supplies and went straight to his seat. "Let's get started, class," said Miss Turpinny. "The art projects you make this week will be displayed at the rec center as part of the school's spring art show." The whole room cheered, woo! Except for Little Shaq. "The theme for this year's show is what we love," Miss Turpinny continued. "So your project should represent something that you care about." Barry raised his hand. "Can it be about our family?" he asked. "Absolutely," said Miss Turpinny. "What about our pets?" Little Shaq's friend Rosa Lindy asked. Little Shaq listened as his classmates shouted out more questions. "Okay, settle down, Miss Turpinny," Miss Turpinny said. "Remember to wait until you're called upon." Walter Skipple raised his hand. "Yes, Walter," she said. "Does our favorite color count?" he asked. "Sure," she said. "Be creative. Now let's make some art." Barry quickly grabbed a set of watercolor paints and a paintbrush. Little Shaq shook his head. Painting seemed hard. Next to him, Rosa took a pack of markers and a handful of colored pencils. Little Shaq shook his head again. He didn't know what to choose. Then he spied the crayons. Sometimes Tater made Little Shaq color with him. Little Shaq knew how to use crayons. He breathed a sigh of relief. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad. Back at the table, Little Shaq took out an orange crayon and drew a big circle. Then he colored it in. Rosa leaned over. "I didn't know you loved oranges." I don't, said Little Shaq. It's a basketball. Oh, said Rosa. Now I see it. Look at mine, said Aubrey Skipple. Walter's twin sister had sketched a picture of their dog Monty. No way, said Rosa. I'm doing a portrait of my cat Mittens. This is going to be so great for my newspaper article, said Aubrey. You're what? Asked Little Shaq. I'm covering the art show for the Parkview Gazette, she said. My mom is letting me borrow her camera and everything. Little Shaq glanced down at his drawing. Rosa was right. It did look like an orange. There was no way his art was good enough for the school newspaper. Little Shaq crumpled up his drawing and marched back to the supply tables. What are you looking for, Miss Turpin? He asked. I don't know, said Little Shaq. My picture didn't turn out so great. Why don't you give the watercolors a shot? She suggested. No, thanks, he said. I don't like painting. Miss Turpin raised her eyebrows. Have you ever tried it? Little Shaq thought for a moment. No, he admitted. Miss Turpin handed him a set of paints. If you don't like it, you can always try something else. Okay, she said. Little Shaq nodded. Great, she said. Let's keep an open mind today. That's what my mom always says, he replied. She's a smart lady, said Miss Turpin. Little Shaq filled a plastic cup with water and started mixing the colors. Want any help? Asked Rosa. Sure, he said. I don't really know what to do. Here, let's practice together, Rosa replied. Rosa dipped a paintbrush into the purple paint and swirled the brush on the paper. She painted 3 squiggly lines. Now you try, she said. Little Shaq gulped and picked up the paintbrush. He tried to do what Rosa had just showed him. First dip the paintbrush, then squiggle, he said quietly. Little Shaq painted 3 more lines on the paper. There, you got the hang of it, said Rosa. Little Shaq smiled and went up to work. Using the black paint, he drew a large rectangle. Then he added a smaller rectangle inside. It's a backboard, Rosa said. Yep, and I'm going to call this painting Slam Dunk. It's not done yet, though, said Little Shaq. I need to add a rim. With the orange watercolor paint, Little Shaq made a circle beneath the small rectangle. He mumbled. That doesn't look like a rim, it's too flat. Little Shaq sighed and put down his paintbrush. He glanced over at his friends. Rosa was using markers to make lots of little dots on the page. And Walter had painted 2 large squares in different shades of red and orange. Little Shaq never knew his friends were such good artists. He didn't think anybody would want to look at his painting. He put his elbows on the table and buried his head in his hands. The art show was only a few days away. What was Little Shaq going to do? Little Shaq, said Rosa, you're painting. Huh? He looked up. He had put his elbows right on top of the wet paint. Little Shaq closed his eyes tight. His painting was ruined. We can fix this, said Rosa. Forget it, Little Shaq said, standing up. I'm not making anything. After school, Little Shaq went to the rec center. He couldn't wait to play basketball. At the sound of Coach Mackin's whistle, Little Shaq ran down the court. I'm open, he yelled. Walter passed him the ball. Go for 3, Little Shaq. Little Shaq dribbled the basketball up and down. As he looked at the rim, he thought about his painting. Little Shaq couldn't get art class off his mind. Pass it, shouted Barry. Little Shaq threw the ball to Barry, who scored an easy layup. At the next timeout, Little Shaq took a seat on the bench. Rosa climbed down from the bleachers. What's wrong, Little Shaq? She asked. I'm worried about my art project for the art show, he told her. So you're not a painter, she said. Big deal. Easy for you to say, he replied. Your project is really good. Yours will be too, said Rosa. Try the clay tomorrow. I bet you're a natural sculptor. You really think so, he asked. Rosa nodded as Coach Mackins blew the whistle. Tweet! The next day, Miss Turpin passed out the class's art projects. Little Shaq looked down at his smeared painting and then up at the slab of clay. He was ready to give it a try. Little Shaq took the clay and rolled it back and forth in his hands, making a ball. The clay felt cool and smooth against his fingers. Suddenly, he had an idea. He didn't just love basketball. He loved playing it. Little Shaq knew exactly what he was going to make. For the rest of the week, Little Shaq worked on his sculpture every chance he got. At the end of each day, he covered it in cloth so no one could see it. On Thursday afternoon, Miss Turpinny asked everyone to turn in their final projects. Little Shaq took a deep breath and handed his in. So was I right about the clay? Asked Rosa. Little Shaq smiled. We'll see, he answered. The end. So right there, again, like I said, that was a chapter book, which a lot of our third graders and fourth graders will be reading a lot more of, right? More words and less pictures, right? So I wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions, all right? Now, of course, you know that they were all preparing for the art show, right? To be shown at the rec center, correct? So I wanted to know, what was it that was the theme that they had to do their art project on? So what was the theme? Meaning, like, what was the topic that their teacher told them that they should paint about? You guys remember? Sal, do you remember? What was the theme? What did Miss Turpinny say that she wanted them to paint about? What was the theme? You remember?
What they love.
What they love, right? All right, excellent. Another question I wanted to ask. Now, did Little Shaq, how did he feel about this whole art project business? Was he excited about it like the whole class? Oh, thank you. No, he wasn't excited, right? He wasn't excited. What was he excited about though? What did he love to do? What did Little Shaq love to do?
Play basketball.
Play basketball, right? Stop. You don't do that, dude. And my last and final question. What did Little Shaq wind up using for his art project? Did he use the watercolors?
No.
Did he use the paint?
No.
What did he wind up using?
A marker.
Not markers. Remember, let's go back to the text. He used the Let's see, we're going to go back.
Rim.
Ah, what did he use?
Clay.
He used the clay, right? Because he was trying to sculpt something, right? Because that's when you have clay, you're actually making like a sculpture, right? All right, so that's what he did. All right, so those are some of the things, again, like I said, that you can do after your read alouds. You can actually ask questions during read alouds as well. All right, y'all, we're done. We're about to be out of here. My kids, you see them, they're laying on me. They're like, woo, we are tired. And that's good, and that's all right, because we ended it on a great note with our great story. And we will be seeing you guys next time.
Guys,
here.
we had an adventure. We went on a nature walk.
Ooh, clear your throat. Say that again.
We went on a nature walk.
Oh, wow. Did you all enjoy it?
Yeah.
Was there something that you saw that was interesting on your nature walk?
Yes.
What?
You saw that when we were playing I Spy.
Okay.
You saw that when I said I Spy, I was always talking about houses. So we can move to another house.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, you guys. Let's go. Peace out and happy reading.
Happy eating.
Happy reading.
Eating.